Hey, what's up guys? Nick here on behalf of Stix Fishing. I know you guys have all thrown a vibrating jig, yeah, a chatterbait, but see in my other hand here, a swim jig. A lot of people heard about the swim jig, but I don't really hear about guys throwing them very often. And everybody always asks me, well, how come I just wouldn't throw a chatterbait? Well, here's the deal. That situation, you get out there, it's a little bit windier, the water's a little dirtier. Chatterbait's great and all, but let's say the sun comes out, the wind goes away, or the water starts to clear, you need a more subtle presentation. And instead of jumping to a finesse presentation right away, why don't you fish a finesse swim jig, something a little bit more subtle and a little bit calmer without a blade, and then you could still cover water faster and catch those fish. So a general rule of thumb, when would I put down a chatterbait? If the wind's less than 10 miles an hour, or I could see beyond 4 to 5 foot deep, a little bit more visibility, that swim jig's probably gonna excel in that situation, and vice versa. If it's a little bit dirtier or a little bit windier, I'm probably gonna pick up that chatterbait and try that first. You can see I trimmed my skirt a little bit shorter there to give that swim jig a little bit more lifelike body to it. And a good little deal about picking your plastic, I like a kicking plastic if the water's a little bit dirtier or if I'm swimming it down through the grass. If I'm around rocks and I think the water's a little bit cleaner but very windy, I will use a swim bait style tail like that. Now remember, you always want to play around and bounce around through those. Now the rods I'm throwing those on, when I'm throwing my chatterbait, I'm generally throwing it on the Stix Reaction Stick. This is a 7'6" bomb of a rod, medium heavy, moderate fast taper. What that's going to allow that fish to do is eat that chatterbait, turn, you're going to set on them, you can make a long cast and you can move that fish in real good. But when you drop to that more subtle swim jig style, this is where you want to pick up the hybrid cast. This is a 7-foot medium power, very similar taper, a little bit faster, but it's going to allow you to throw that lighter finesse swim jig out there a long ways and get away with a little bit lighter line at the same time, which is going to help you get more bites. Now there's one other swim jig I didn't show you, a heavier one with a crawdad plastic on there. What's this situation about? Let's say they're buried in grass. It's the middle of the summer, the ultraviolet's really high. I was catching them on the chatterbait that morning. I know they're buried down there in the grass, and this one, it's a little bit lighter, so it tends to move and lift in the water column if I'm trying to go fast through the grass and get the reaction. That's where I'll go with that heavier swim jig like so. And if those fish are in and around heavy cover, if I'm fishing timber or next to boat dock with ropes, that's where I'm gonna throw it on the Power Stick. This is the biggest rod in the Stix lineup, biggest, stoutest meat stick. I can hook them and wrench them out of there really, really hard. This rod can almost deadlift 20 pounds. So remember guys, if you haven't tried the swim jig, by all means, you need to give it a shot. I'm Nick on behalf of Stix Fishing. Remember, if you haven't checked out the rods, these are literally the most versatile rods that have ever been designed for this whole bass fishing industry in general. So visit us at stixfishing.com. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.